First of all, James, you had a show last night at the Viper Room that I heard was pretty killer. How did it go for you?
It went great. It was cool to do this just totally throw and go. You know, no sound check, no in-ears. You can't hear yourself. It was like old school. You know, it was like old times. You know, before I went on Idol, I was playing in bars since I was 15, doing that. Not being able to hear myself, then looking back in video and being like, yeah, that's awesome. You know, and just feeling like a total rock star.
Excellent.
And it was great because my wife was there. And, you know, these songs are written for her, so I finally got to sing to her. And it just felt so much better. Like I feel whole again.
Excellent.
I've been thinking so much, you know, before this Idol performance, before the Viper Room, you know, it's a big week, and we had the Golden God Awards the night before. I've just really been psyching myself out a lot lately, and now it's kind of like breath of fresh air, and I feel like me again, you know. I'm not thinking about what's happening next week or all this other crap, you know. It's like, it's finally like, I'm free again. I kicked ass on Idol, I kicked ass at Viper Room, and now I just get to enjoy life and enjoy just being here and in the moment with my family.
Excellent. Well, I mean, we got to talk about the Idol performance too, because you took things to 11 on Idol.
Thank you.
Dee Dee and I were sort of joking a little bit earlier about how the contestants were like jaws on the floor, like they had never seen anything like this. Here's a little bit of your performance. We've talked about this before, about why you feel it's important to expose the audience to metal, to hard rock. You know, why was it important to just put out such a bombastic performance?
Sorry.
You're taken with yourself, huh?
No, I just love the way it looks. It just went off without a hitch, and I'm just looking at Steven the entire time. I was looking for my wife. The song's about her. It's about, you know, my life before I met her, and I was in a dark place, and she just pulled me out of it. And I was looking for her to sing it to her, and then Steven's making faces at me, and he's having a good time, so I just sang the whole song to Steven.
Nice.
You alone, Steven Tyler, take me higher than heaven.
Well, I was going to say, the sentiment applies to Steven, too.
My drummer got almost more airtime than I did.
What's up with that?
He had his own camera guy right over there.
Well, it's cool. At least your name's on the drum, so you got that taken care of.
It is, yeah.
No, it was...
Dylan had to hide his hair right there.
Why?
Under the beanie, because it's long.
Okay.
Blake cut his hair like a month ago. He had really long brown hair.
And your hair?
My hair going blonde from American Idol to Billy Idol.
Yep, that's right. That's right. What was the decision making behind that? And when did you have it done?
Well, I used to have blonde hair as a kid. I used to bleach it a lot, so I just decided it was time for a change. You know, it was, a couple months ago we started on it. We started toning it, and we probably did like 8 or 9 attempts at it just to get it like this. So it's, you know, it's pretty fried. I'm glad it hasn't fallen out. You know, when I wash it, it gets like, that's when you can feel that it's all like fried and crap.
Right.
So like, I bathe, but I don't always wash my hair like shampoo and everything, just to give it that raw Sid Vicious look. You know.
Excellent.
You know, it's punk rock.
Excellent. No, so let's talk about that. I mean, it was like full-on rock. I mean, this season of Idol has been a lot of ballads and divas and R&B. This was like 180 degrees. Was that what it was like on your season too? Did you feel like you were the rebel of Idol?
I did feel rebellious at times, but I think everyone had their rebellious moments. I mean, Scotty sure did. Casey sure did. I mean, me, Scotty, and Casey had a rebellious week. It was Songs from Movies week. Scotty didn't want to do his. Someone ended up picking a different song for him, and last minute he went back to his original song, which was perfect for him. Same with Casey. Someone wanted him to do Phil Collins. He wanted to do Nature Boy. He went back to his original idea, and it was one of Casey's best performances. And me, someone wanted me to do friggin' Pinball Wizard, and I wanted to do Sammy Hagar, and I stuck with my guns. I made the call. No, this is nobody else's help. I called out to my friends and my acquaintances and got Zach Wilde on the show. And I was like, shit, that was like a big, so, you know, I was so just taken like with that moment.
Yeah.
It was a big week for me.
Yeah.
Not just that, I got to work with the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and there was a young boy named Cole Quapich, and he, out of anything in the world, he had just had a double kidney transplant, and out of anything in the world, in the entire world, like he could have gone to Disney World and spent a month there, you know, doing his therapy. He could have gone to the Great Wall of China, but no, he wanted to come to American Idol and hang out with James Durbin.
Aww.
So that made me cry. That really broke me down, and really just made me look at myself and look at my life and really look at why I'm here and why, what my purpose is and what my purpose is for being on the show. It wasn't to be, you know, this big mega rock star. You know, I had my fun on stage, but when I was off stage, I was backstage taking pictures with kids and just
inspiring.
Just being a good person. Yeah, exactly. You know, before Idol, I knew why I wanted to sing. It didn't matter if it was metal. It didn't matter if it was anything else. I mean, Dio sang metal, but he still sang inspiring songs.
That's right. Yeah. Well, you are. You're such an inspiration, James, and I love the record, Memories of a Beautiful Disaster.
Thank you.
Such a good record. Just sold 100,000 copies. That's amazing.
Yeah, you know, like 50,000 records come out a year, and like 40 of them can say that they've sold 100,000.
Absolutely.
So that's a huge milestone. You know, we've gone aluminum. Next up is gold.
Excellent.
Actually, we're silver in Canada.
Oh, great.
No, we're platinum in Canada. 100,000 records is platinum in Canada.
That's amazing.
But that's if my album sold 100,000 copies in Canada.
Which,
I would be platinum in Canada.
Right, okay.
But I'm platinum in Canada in the U.S.
This is like fantasy certification
Yes,
here.
yes.
Okay, I get it. So did you talk to any of the contestants last night? Did you meet anyone? Any interesting conversations?
Oh, when I was backstage in the hair room, I went and said hi to the hairdressers. And I used to always do my hair, and they always did such a great job. I just had to beg them to do it again. And let's see, who was in there? Holly was in there, and Skylar were in there. And so I said hi, and I brought everyone a copy of my CD and wrote something real nice on them. And Skylar was in there, and I just, you know, let her know that me and my wife are rooting for her. And then she said, you know, thank you so much. And I walk away, and I hear, and the baby too? I'm like, and the baby too. And yay! It was funny. And then I go back in there to get my hair done, and Philip's sitting in the chair and Colton's sitting in the other chair. And the hair lady says, she just finished with Philip and told him to get up. And he walks out of the room. She's like, I didn't mean that. So I sit down, then I start talking to Colton for a little bit. We talked for like 5 minutes, just chit-chatting, and then I went and grabbed my CD and gave it to him, and he said that he already had it, but he'd love another copy. He says he listens to it all the time and really enjoys it, so it's great.
That's great. I'll bet coming in and seeing the two of you from the back, like your hair was probably so similar. It's like, wait, which one is what?
Yeah.
That's hilarious. What do you tell these contestants? Like, they're at the top 7, you made it to number 4, you're so close to the end here. What do you do? Like, what is the strategy at this point?
You know, what I do, especially now, is before I go and perform my music on stage, I listen to it. I listen to a couple songs. Sometimes I listen to the entire record, or at least all the songs that we play live, and I'll just go through them in my head exactly how I want it to happen. Take out the headphones, put it down, go on stage. It happens just like that. You know, you think of it, you put that energy out there, and it'll manifest, and it'll really happen. You know, before I auditioned for Idol, my wife Heidi, she made all these encouraging Post-it notes and put them all over the house. And I put that in my audition package, and it really worked. You know, I was seeing that constantly, and I was thinking that and being that. You know, live as though you already have it. Live as though you've already won American Idol. You know, live as though you're there in the moment. You're playing on stage with your favorite performers, your favorite rock stars, your favorite country stars, R&B stars, no matter who it is. Just imagine that.
Wow.
But live it. Don't just like, you know, that'd be fun, or like, oh, that'd be a dream. Be like, yeah, I'm here. This is amazing. And it'll keep happening. It'll keep going. You know, just don't lose sight of it. Don't lose sight of your dream.
That's
You
great.
know, you just got to keep doing it. I mean, it's a long way to the top to rock and roll. It's a long way to the top for anything. And you just got to realize that you were chosen out of, you know, there's 17,500, sometimes 20,000 kids at each audition city every season.
Yeah.
Now we're up to 11 seasons. I don't even know how many people that is. It's like a million kids, and you were chosen out of all those people for a reason. Because you're meant to do this.
That's excellent.
And it doesn't matter if you get eliminated. You just got to keep going for it. Remember why you did it in the first place. You know, don't let someone else's opinion get you down. It's not the end of the world.
Well, so you, being from Santa Cruz, you inspired Chris Rene from X Factor. I've talked to him about this at length. You know, we asked him, why did you audition? And he basically said, I saw James Durbin in the paper, and I was like, I want to do that. That's got to feel pretty good. And you actually met him recently, right? Tell us about that.
I did meet him recently. I've talked to him on Twitter, and you know we keep missing each other. It's funny though. I was in Santa Cruz. I was on 41st Avenue. Don't remember where I was going, but I was in my truck. He was in his car. He was pulling out of the Best Buy Home Depot parking lot, and I'm sitting there at the light. And he's listening to his music, you know, like this, and I'm listening to my music like this. And I see him, and I honk. And then when I just met him in person, he was like, dude, I saw you. I was like, that was Durbin. Damn it, I missed him.
Oh, my God.
He's just such a sweet person, such a really cool guy. I mean, I think it'd be cool to maybe do something down the road, you know?
Yeah, great. Well, tell us a little bit about, you were at the Revolver Golden Gods Awards the other night. You must have met, like, so many of your idols, right? Can you tell us about who you met and who haven't you met yet?
Well, working with these guys, James Michael, DJ Ashba, Nikki Sixx, 6 a.m., I got to see them perform live. It's the first time they performed live in over 4 years. So that was awesome. They're one of my favorite bands, and I know all three of them. It's so cool. That's like a pipe dream. Like, oh, my God, I know these guys. This is killer. Gene Simmons was there with his wife. Me and my wife were walking to go to the bathroom. Gene and Shannon are standing right there, and it was just funny. And then we're walking down the stairs, and Gene's son Nick comes up the stairs, and he's staring at me, but he wouldn't say anything. So he's going up, and I'm going down, and then we go like this, and I turn around to go down the next flight. We make eye contact, and he's just like, I'm like. So it was good, you know, little acknowledgement.
Excellent.
And then Black Veil Brides, I know those guys, they're great. Hung out in their dressing room for a little bit and talked to the singer's parents. They're just so supportive. It's just like, that's exactly how I am, you know, and exactly how I'm going to be with my son. I mean, his dad has tattoos of his son performing and his full makeup and the band logo and like all that stuff. It's beautiful, you know, and we were actually talking, it's so funny because you'll see, like, if you see him at their concerts, you see this older guy in his in his 40s with like Andy Bierzak tattoos, and he's like, I'm a big fan.
Amazing. Well, speaking of tattoos, so you have a brand new one, like as recent as last night.
As recent as last night, we were actually a little late to the show. At the Viper Room, me and my wife, we each got these blue stars to commemorate the night, and they're right above our matching horseshoes for our son. We just had a great night last night. It's been a great week. You know, the Golden Gods was something else. You know, I didn't win, but I didn't lose. I was there.
You were there.
I was there. I got to present an award to Avenged Sevenfold for having the best fans with Sean from Seether, and I lost to I didn't win to a label mate, to Amy Lee from Evanescence, who we're playing a show with next week in Austin, Texas at Stubbs.
At Stubbs, amazing.
So it's cool, you know. It was like, she deserves it, man. She's an amazing singer. I flew out to Orlando just to see them. They're great.
Excellent.
And we're stoked to be playing a show with them. We just found out we get like 45 minutes.
Excellent.
To just, you know,
to rock
blow
it.
the roof off.
Did you see Johnny Depp perform with Marilyn Manson?
I left like right before. We were so hungry, we went down to the pantry downtown and just vegged out and just carved out. I missed it.
They did Sweet Dreams. There's video of it on YouTube. Lots.
He's my favorite actor. I just love, like, you always know what character he's going to play. That's that.
Excellent, excellent, excellent.
I just saw Cry Baby for the first time, and there's this one song in the movie. It's a song from the 50s. It's called Cherry. It's by the Jive Bombers, and it's like this really trippy song. It's in that gross makeout scene, you know, where
Yes.
and it's got the song Cherry. It's a really cool song. Great movie.
That movie.
Who's the director of that? What's his name?
John Waters.
John Waters. That I kept saying John Holmes. Isn't that like the conductor?
John Williams. Or are you thinking of John Hughes from 16 Candles and Pretty in
That's
Pink?
probably what I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
John Waters.
John
yeah.
Waters. Yeah.
If I ever get a tattoo on my face, I'm gonna get that little John Waters mustache right above my lip.
You know what? I could see you rocking that, actually.
Yeah.
What do people say you look like?
Ryan Seacrest.
You did homework